Something that I do outside of the security space is I give pizza tours in New York City. Done it for like 3 years now.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of CISOs Making Cocktails, where we mix signature drinks with even better stories from the world of security. My name is Ryan Kazanciyan, CISO at Wiz, and your host for today. And I'm joined by Tanya Wadhawan, a security lead at Meta.
Hi, Ryan. I'm excited to be here.
We're also joined by Vernon, our amazing bartender and mixologist.
So I'm just making sure we're all good with cranberry.
Sounds good.
Oh, then we're gonna have a CNAPPolitan. Just give me 2 seconds, it'll be right out.
Amazing. I guess for full transparency, we should share that we've worked together at Wiz.
It's nice to see some wizards here today.
Absolutely. So how does your day typically start? Are you like waking up in fire drill mode?
I used to be, and that's why now I wake up 12 minutes before I have to leave the house.
12 minutes from wake up to leave the house?
Yep.
I hope this didn't take too long. Right here, coming up for you is your CNAPPolitans. Oh, and I didn't spill a drop. Please, let me know how we're thinking.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Salute.
Salute.
Yeah.
Cheers. That's really good.
So what was your very first job?
I did consulting, and that's what led me to cybersecurity. I started at one of the agencies. When I got there, they ran out of developers. So they put me in a boot camp for 6 months, and I became a developer. It wasn't for me, but once we discovered that it wasn't for me, they moved me into kind of a cybersecurity route, and I loved it so much, and so that's what led me here.
So you've, in cybersecurity, worn a few different hats. What types of roles have you found most compelling?
I've discovered that I really like working on incidents because it's changing so quickly. You have to change your way of thinking, kind of decide what to do proactively, preemptively, what to do after the fact.
And I think big tech is a great environment to learn how to do incident work.
Oh, 100%. Every day throughout the world, we see very different types of attacks, very different, like even phishing has gotten more sophisticated. I've even seen emails where I'm like, I would click that. The use of the AI and everything has just gotten a lot better.
Given how stressful that type of work can be, when you need to just completely unplug, what's your go-to?
So I really love to play pickleball.
The fight for pickleball court space is like a thing. What's that like in New York?
It's that times 100. But my workaround for that is I bought my own net, so anywhere can be a pickleball court.
Those organizational skills and prep skills, again, showing their colors.
Exactly.
So one of the challenges in security is it always feels like something is broken and there's always areas to improve. How do you think about planning and prioritizing your work?
One of the most important things I've had to learn is to just be flexible. I'm someone that likes to cross things off my to-do list, and that is just not always possible. So each week I'll prioritize what I need to work on.
How do you give your fellow teammates that feeling like we're accomplishing something, not just constantly firefighting?
We start every meeting with the things that have gone well, and I think that sets morale up high, and just making sure everybody's recognized for the work that they've been doing.
What have you found has helped communicate risk to people who aren't as technically savvy?
The most important thing to be able to do is to talk the technical jargon, but also carry that over to more functional people.
How are we doing with our drinks?
They are excellent.
Delicious.
I heard you were really into like agave, tequila type of vibe. Well, I'm assuming then if we were a cocktail, if you were a cocktail, which cocktail would you be?
I'd say a spicy margarita, probably.
All right, are we talking about the tahini rim, the salt rim?
Oh, yeah, the tahini rim.
Okay, well, we're going real spicy.
So let's move on to another hot topic, which is AI and security. Where have you seen AI technology start to make a difference in your day-to-day work?
I've really enjoyed just the way that AI can synthesize things, but every coin has two sides, right? So on the other side of it, I think one of the tricky parts of security is it's not necessarily at the point yet where it can keep up with the acceleration of AI.
Yeah, the pervasive challenge, I think, for any CISO is how do you identify areas where that can enable the business, but also give people like a supported and secure path to using technologies that can help the business without creating risk.
Yeah.
When this generation of AI technology came about, there was a lot of like doom and gloom fear about whether it would equip attackers to be massively more capable. Have you found that to be the case, or do you think that will be the case?
Yeah, so that's a really good question. Another interesting thing I find about security is that no matter how much you automate anything, the weakest point is always going to be the human link. I think we're able to have the tools to kind of balance that. So I think that equilibrium will remain the same. But I think our most important piece is to focus on enabling our humans to kind of identify some of these more sophisticated attacks and to be careful with the use of AI, but not discourage them from using it either.
What types of skills do you think are going to be critical for security leaders and CISOs in the next 5 years?
I think it's important for a CISO to have thick skin because oftentimes they're the ones that end up taking the brunt of the fall if something goes wrong. And then on that same vein, being very confident in their decisions. I think it's important for a CISO to not only manage the risk, but manage the perception around risk is an important skill that I think is newer too.
If you were to meet yourself at the start of your career, what advice would you give yourself about your career?
So this is something that I think I would still tell myself every single day, and I still do, is to ask questions and don't be scared to. There's other people that don't necessarily know what's going on either, so it's helpful for everybody to kind of start from scratch. So just continuing to ask.
Well, Tanya, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, of course. This is great.
Great to see you again. And Vernon, thank you so much for the delicious CNAPPolitan.
I hope y'all both enjoyed.
It was fantastic. All right, and that wraps another edition of CISOs Making Cocktails. Thank you so much for joining us all, and see you at the next episode.